Welcome wizards, muggles, and squibs. Enter Wands by Elvyn. Today we'll be looking at some Harry Potter unpopular opinions to see if I agree with some or if some I just completely disagree with. As for today's wand, we have the wand of the despicable Dolores Umbridge. Seen in the Order of the Phoenix, it has a little pink gem in the middle of her wand, her favorite color. I think that it is very intricate, but it is the shortest in my collection of wands. So there's a fun fact. If you're new here, hi, hello, welcome to my wand shop. Make sure to subscribe for more Harry Potter related content. I post every Thursday, so be on the lookout for a brand new video. Without further ado, let's get on to the video. Descendio. Okay, so we are here at Reddit. I've looked up an unpopular opinions page on Harry Potter, and we're just gonna look through some and discuss some, whether to see if I agree with some or not. Here's a good first one to start. I don't particularly like book 7 and I find it the worst in the series. I don't hate it, I just don't care about it much. I think the hardships J.K. Rowling made the trio go through to try and add drama to the story were too forced and unbelievable. Like, there really was no reason for them to be starving when they had magic, an invisibility cloak and polyjuice potion at their disposal. I feel like book 7, as you guys know, is the Deathly Hallows, and in the Deathly Hallows, it explains, well, Hermione explains that they can't just poof magic to some food, and it was really hard for them to get food because they were on the run and there were Death Eaters everywhere. So I think that this comment is not too much looked into. I feel like this person maybe didn't read the book to the fullest and understood it to its full potential. Ooh, here's another good one. Lily Potter is overrated. She's a bad sister, a selfish friend, and the only reason she's considered good is because she died heroically and makes for a good story. Ooh, overrated. A bad sister and a selfish friend. There are a lot of facts about Lily and Petunia, who later sort of disconnected herself from her sister. Lily actually asked Petunia to be her bridesmaid at her wedding, but Petunia declined because they were so distant and cold to each other. But I don't think that Lily was a bad sister. I think that she wanted to include her sister into everything that she had to do with magic. But Petunia always saw the darker side of things. I think this one is pretty common. Ron and Hermione are highly unsuitable for each other. Hermione is a vicious and abusive person who gets more credit than she deserves. Okay, vicious and abusive. I don't recall when Hermione was abusive or vicious, which I'm gonna have to look back on. I think that Hermione is a very bright witch and she is very independent, but maybe Ron and Hermione, a lot of people were saying, oh, they're not the best couple, this and that. But in the end, I think that they were pretty happy with each other. I think that maybe we should do a lightning round by this person, Lacey the doll. She says I have a few, so let's just run through them all and maybe say a thing or two. First one, Gryffindor screwed the other houses during the House Cup due to Harry's placement there. I'm gonna have to agree with them on that. I feel like Gryffindor was always looked at as the better house of the other four, and each house is supposed to be treated differently just because, you know, Harry's there and you may have did some, like, what about the other houses? They must have put in some work during their class and so showed some act of, you know, kindness or bravery or wisdom or ambition or something to make them give out house points to the certain house. Second one, the Sorting Hat shouldn't be able to make a second choice due to someone not wanting to go to a house. Well, the Sorting Hat does take your decision into consideration. If the Sorting Hat thinks that you're wrong in your decision, it'll put you in the house that the Sorting Hat thinks that you would do well in, not the house that you want. Now let's say that I want to be in Gryffindor, but I show more traits of a Hufflepuff. It's not going to put me in Gryffindor if I say, hey, I want to be in Gryffindor. It's gonna put me in Hufflepuff because that's where the Sorting Hat thinks that I would succeed the most. Third one, Draco Malfoy wasn't evil as he was portrayed. Draco, along with his mother Narcissa, should have been the only ones from the Malfoy family to have survived the Great War, with Lucius dying to protect his family from Voldemort. Yes, 100%, I agree. Draco is not an evil person. I think that he was just influenced to do bad things. I don't believe in bullies. I think that they're just projecting their, insecurities onto others. And I think that in the end, Draco, we really saw a soft side to him. He didn't want to kill Dumbledore because he knew him for years, and he was a kind headmaster to him, and he never did anything wrong to Draco. But since he was influenced by Voldemort and his father and other Death Eaters, it had to come to, him showing evil behavior. Fourth one, Draco redemption arc is definitely needed. I think it is needed. That's all I want to say. The students should have learnt how to use their magic without the use of wands and verbal spells. Okay, so this one's actually really interesting. I want to talk about it. In The Half-Blood Prince, Snape was teaching students on how to use non-verbal spells. He tried to cast a non-verbal spell into Harry, but then Harry cast the Protego Charm, but he said it verbally, and it sort of backfired onto Snape. And I think he got detention for that. Someone might have to fact check me on that. Now, the use of wands. Now, only a very powerful and skillful wizard will have the ability to not use magic without their wand. It's very difficult to achieve that achievement, but it's not impossible. I also want to point out that broomsticks work like wands. Broomsticks are just sort of a way to channel your magic into. So what I'm trying to say is that wizards and witches can fly without broomsticks. There you go. Next one. Hermione and Ron aren't suitable for each other. Neither are Harry and Ginny. Every relationship seems to come from nowhere. This one's pretty funny because it's kind of true. Ron and Hermione aren't compatible. I like to think of it as opposites attract. Ron wasn't the smartest, but Hermione was, so they're kind of, together in a sense. Harry and Ginny never truly understood. I thought that Harry might fall in love with, some other girl at Hogwarts, maybe Cho, or I don't know, some other girl. Next. Dumbledore should have stopped sending Harry back to live with his abusive family. Okay, again, maybe this person didn't understand the plot of Harry Potter to the fullest. In Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, the book, it is explained why Harry has to return to Privet Drive every summer. It is because there is a protective enchantment put on Harry and the house for that Dumbledore can't get to Harry or the Dursleys. It was put there by Lily, and that the enchantment will go away once Harry becomes of age, which in the Wizarding world is 17. So that's why Dumbledore kept pushing Harry to go back to Privet Drive so that he and the Dursleys can be safe. This will be the last one for this video, and it is Hagrid should have been sacked on his first day of teaching. Really, he shouldn't have been offered the job at all. Okay, so this is kind of hurtful to me because I love Hagrid. I love Hagrid, that big giant oaf. And I think that he made a great teacher, even though he was new to the whole teaching thing and there was a lot of pressure on him. I think that he did a fantastic job for someone who is sort of new to everything. And he even asked Harry how he was doing. His first lesson was a hippogriff, which isn't really recommended, but it is exciting, and for the students of Hogwarts to sort of engage in the care of magical creatures subject, which Hagrid was a professional in. That's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you guys have some unpopular opinions that you may want me to reply to, make sure to leave them down in the comments. I will be replying to some, so please feel free to comment. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. But as always, keep your wands up. at the ready, always.